Welcome to Shar's World. Hey guys, welcome to Shar's World. So I wanted to talk about this feeling of abandonment. Well, it was a feeling of abandonment that I had. I've had over maybe like 12 clients when I was attacked at work, and it may not sound like a lot, but if you multiply that by 3, because I wasn't just seeing the client, I was seeing their family as well, that's about 36 people that I had relationships with, some over a year, some less than 6 months. But nonetheless, I was, in these families' homes, hearing all of their personal barriers, or, anything that, they thought that they wanted to share with me. I was there. And so for me, I have this sense of guilt. Well, I had this sense of guilt. I'm going to say had, because that's something that I've worked on. And I had this sense of guilt and abandonment because I was unable to continue with my clients and their families. It was one thing where workers' comp said, okay, you're out of work right now. But then they tried to send me back like 3 weeks later, and I couldn't do it. I snapped out on a client. Sometimes the text messages made me cry. My supervisor was like, well, when are you coming back? Because your clients really need you. Some of them were in dire situations where it's like, what should we do? What should we do, Sharday? And I was like, I felt so guilty because I couldn't type because of the carpal tunnel and the injury in my shoulder. I couldn't focus because I wasn't sleeping, and I was still having like extreme PTSD symptoms. And that I had to pull myself out. I had to let my employer know I can't do it. And it's hard to admit that you can't do something with anything, right? It's kind of like you might feel, or I felt defeated, or that I wasn't strong enough. I couldn't pull through. I couldn't just get over it and do it, even though I really wanted to. Like, being grounded was something that I've never experienced before in my life. So I was actually grounded, and this time I had to actually ground myself, because I realized, like, you're not in a good position to be anybody's therapist right now. So I had to concede and really just step out for myself. So I was having this fear of like running into people, like at the mall or shopping or just driving, like, oh my gosh, they're going to see me, they're going to hate me, they're going to, curse me out because I left them stranded. And so one thing that I've been working on in my, therapy and just myself is that, I can't control any outcomes. My presence or absence does not control anybody's life or outcomes. And whatever services or my presence provided was probably just for that moment. And I did a good job while I was there. And it just was what it was. I was injured. I had to take care of myself. I had to take care of my family. And I shouldn't feel guilty for that. I shouldn't feel like I let others down because I had to put myself first. And in order to put myself first, that means that I was doing the right thing for other people. Because if I was to try to just stay and work it out, I could have really damaged some of my clients just by trying to work it out, and I wasn't in the right mental space to help anyone but myself and my family. So I'm going to work on an open letter to my previous clients and families, in hopes that maybe they'll see it, maybe they won't. But just to kind of get some closure, because I never got closure. And closure, you know, may not necessarily mean somebody forgiving you or, you know, oh, I understand what you went through, but closure could be just me accepting, you know, that this was not my fault. This was out of my control, and that I had to put myself first for my well-being and my family, and I should not feel guilty for that. So if you're in the same situation where you feel like you're drowning or you're sinking, but you are putting other people first because you feel like you owe them something, or you have this, you know, responsibility, or, you know, you feel like you should be stronger than this, or you need to just pull through, but you're really hurting yourself just because you feel like you should be stronger than this. Sometimes being strong means to just separating yourself and putting yourself first. That is like the ultimate strength, I believe, because it's so hard to be selfish on purpose. It's so hard to, you know, just say, I'm gonna take care of me, and I'm sorry, you know, no apologies. Like, I'm not sorry, I need to take care of me. I think that's really, really strong in itself, and really just putting things in perspective for yourself and realizing if you have to put yourself first, and it may hurt other people, it may, you know, make other people sad, you have a due diligence to yourself first. And that's my little nugget for today. I hope you're enjoying this spring weather. This is really spring. Spring hit is pollen, rain, dreariness, and beautiful green trees and flowers. So I hope you enjoy this wonderful spring day.